everyone. Thinking of doing things a little bit differently today. Rather than my usual forum post, I thought I'd try putting together a little video so you can come along and see what I'm doing on the car today. This is my partner's Clio. Recently when I was driving it, I noticed the steering felt quite vague and could hear some rattling and knocking, and a little bit of investigation showed that yeah, both front ball joints were shot on the control arms. So let's get into it and pull those apart. We won't talk about the fact that we're jacking it on the pinch welds. Someone got in there before us anyway. It'll be fine. Without fail, I always forget to undo the drive shaft nut whilst the car's on the floor. See if we can get it this way. There we go. Well, I couldn't do that one-handed, but that's just hanging up there for now. I should probably show you the ball joint before I take this too far apart. I'll go get a big bar and we can wobble it about and have a look at how bad it is. Not sure how well you see this because the lighting is pretty crap this morning, but I've got a bar on there. This side is nowhere near as bad as the other side was. I've already replaced that. I did that earlier in the week because it was I'll splice some footage in, but it was really hanging. This one, it doesn't move that much, but with my hand on there I can feel that grinding away inside, so it's no good. But surprisingly, that's pinch bolt undid really easily. The other side was a total fight. It'd be interesting to see if it comes out okay with the drift, but I'm wondering if I've must have been in there before or something. There's no way that you know, if that's been on there the life of the car, that it would have undone like that. Oh well. Yeah, it never goes like this, so I must have been in there previously and I've just forgotten. So I found the easiest thing to do here is, I mean that ball joint doesn't pop out of the pinch joint easily, or it didn't on the other side anyway. So take those two bolts out there, spanner on top and socket on the bottom. Then I'll pop the drive shaft out. Sorry, that's in and out of focus and in and out of the light. That's probably really annoying to look at. And then it isn't a blind hole that the ball joint goes into, and put a drift on top and it should tap out. I don't know if that's the right way or not, but it's the easy stroke lazy way, so that's how we're doing it. Well, I've just remembered that I've got a tripod, so see if we get on any better with that. So let's try and pop this out so we've got some space. Come on. There we go. Right. Well, I'm not sure how much the tripod does actually help, but I'll try and do this in a way that it's sort of visible what I'm trying to do. Yeah. Doesn't help that I can't see what I'm doing either. It has moved a little bit though. Let's try and get that there. Hopefully you can see something other than my arm. And there we go. So is that a shot? There we go. Success. Happy days. So I've moved the little plastic collar over. So it's got a little notch that lines in the pinch joint there, and we're just gonna pop this back in. Might put a little bit of copper slip on that. Right. God, it's so difficult doing this looking through a camera. That should be going in. Just get that little notch lined up on the. There we go. Cool. Just need to pop the bolt through now. I accidentally popped the clip off of this, so see if we get away with crimping it again. So I don't have a spare, so if crimping it doesn't work, then yeah, that's no bueno. I'll have to have a think about that. Right, thinking complete. We don't need to use the car today, so well, you can put it back together. And I'll order some more of those clips. There we go. Now, I've just spotted that the old pinch bolt had a flange on it, and so did the nut. And this kit had a couple of washers knocking around in it, so seeing as that's not a bolt with a flange on it, I'm imagining those washers must be for there. There we go. Now the other side, I put a ball joint on that was, I want to say maybe it was Moog or something like that. That one actually came with stretch bolts, whereas this is using nylock nuts. I don't know how I feel about that. I had a nylock nut, or a couple of nylock nuts on these ball joints back off a while back, which wasn't fantastic. Made a lot of noise. This is where I'm obliged to say click. I apparently make weird grunting noises. See that on there? And we'll give that one a click as well. Splendid. There we go. Nice new ball joint fitted. Now, I had the bar on it, and I mean, you won't really see anything now, but everything just moves as one piece. You haven't got that play between the seat of the ball joint and the ball. And that makes the steering feel a little bit less vague in the car, although and the rest of the suspension parts aren't looking great. I'm going to need to do the drop links on it. Might need to look at the trackboard ends at some point, but yeah, from a safety point of view, the ball joints were a worry, and that's sorted now, so just need to throw it back together, and we're done. just come out for a quick test drive just to see, it's sorted out some of our suspension noises, and yeah, most of the knocking is now gone, which is good. I think it still needs, like I said earlier, the drop links looking at. Also the top mounts on this are not fantastic. I think they've been mismatched. There were two different types, and yeah, the two that are on there aren't the same. But yeah, the vagueness has gone from the steering, so that's good. It's nice to have wheels that go where you point them. That's always helpful. And yeah, it's a little bit quieter. I mean, I had a couple of these Mk2 Clios, and they are, and especially with the sunroof, they are pretty rattly. But yeah, this is miles better than it was. It's a shame I didn't do a before video, but the ball joint on the driver's side was so shagged that once I had a look at it, it wasn't really you know, a good idea to be out and about driving on it, knowing that it wasn't right. But yeah, plenty more to do on this car. It's had, I've kind of been ignoring it, but the glow plugs, a couple of them were, one of them was snapped, and I think one of them was, maybe two of them were snapped, I can't quite remember. But it was enough that the car would still run the glow plugs and you could start it, so it wasn't really a pressing issue. Something's upset it now, and it doesn't use the glow plugs at all, so I'm going to get one of those super cheap Chinesium glow plug removal kits, and we'll see how bad one of those is, because yeah, this thing, it does struggle to start without the glow plugs. Thinking what else it needs. The air conditioning doesn't work, which is a bugbear of mine. So when I had a look last, I could see that it was losing pressure from the condenser. So I think the condenser's about 60 quid for this, and it's, again, it wasn't mission critical to use in the car, so it kind of got ignored. But now it's like damp and misty screen every morning. It would be nice to have working air conditioning. And speaking of damp and misty screens, the sunroof could do with resealing. It's letting water in, and it's let the headliner fabric sort of delaminate as well. So at some point I want to take the sunroof out, reseal that. Lights do the headliner as well, because it looks pretty rubbish having bits of I don't know if the camera will pick it up where I've got it pointed, but there's like, fabric flapping around where you can see it. Looks shite. So yeah, still more to do on this, but at least it's safe and drivable at the moment, which is the main thing. Put this on the driveway, but I could do with having the Mercedes on the driveway, to be fair, because there's bits and pieces I want to do on that. Too much stuff at the house at the moment. He's going to dump some of it elsewhere, I think. Anyway, at least this is ready for my partner to use for work next week. That's the main thing. Yeah, so speaking of the Mercedes, it was meant to go in for MOT this morning, and I rushed and had to fit a new wiper linkage to it, as the old one was had a seized spindle, and trying to unseize it resulted in the aluminium casting cracking. Crikey, it's bright out today. And Anyway, so did all of that this week. Rushed out and bought wipers and bits and pieces. Oh, crikey, that's loud. Rushed out and got wipers, bits and pieces like that. Oh, fantastic. What's caused that? Yeah. What's happened there? Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I thought the battery was alright in this. I charged it up recently. Something's upset her though. I did these have like an AGM battery in the engine bay, which I think is meant to like keep the I don't know, computers running or something like that. I took it out and wisely left the battery leads flapping about, but it was showing an error. It wasn't giving any more grief than that. Battery lead back on. See if it forgets. There we go. It was like before we were rudely interrupted. Let's turn that down. Let's turn that off. Gonna have loads of codes and bits and pieces because it'll be upset that it lost battery voltage. Yeah, so it was meant to go in for MOT this morning. I was rushing to sort some bits and pieces out on it this week, and noticed that it was showing. Apologies, you might not be able to hear me clearly. Noticed it was showing as untaxed rather than stored. I thought, oh, I better go and get the logbook off my dad and make sure I've got that handy. Just in case the local constabulary stopped me, because I was doing a bit of a long run. It was going to be about an hour and a half drive to go to where I was going to get it MOT'd. And yeah, it turns out my dad's lost all the paperwork, so about like, I think it's about like 4 weeks or something to get a replacement logbook. Yeah, it didn't seem worth running it in for the MOT. Do you have working wipers? No. Oh, for fuck's sake. You couldn't make it up, could you? Well, we did have working wipers. I just wanted to look vaguely competent. I could have edited that out, but it's interesting that that's backed off, because I had to cut the other nuts off and to replace them with some M8 nuts and washers that came out of an old sofa. And that one stayed together. Much better. Anyway, where I was going with that thought is it's probably going to be about a month or so before I can really do anything with this car now, which is a bit of a shame, as I was hoping to burn about in it for a bit whilst I was waiting for it to sell. But hey ho, it is what it is. Anyway, this thing's sorted, so that's the main thing. And yeah, I guess interested to know if a video going through the work is better than a post. I'm not quite sure if it's easier or not, but sometimes I just struggle to get the motivation to sit down and type things up, take photographs, paste things in, that sort of thing. I think probably what's really the problem is that I'm just too lazy, rather than one format's better than the other. But yeah, cheers folks.